Kendrick, I have a question for you.
Yeah,
How did your movie making skills get better through the project?
one production skill that I improved on throughout media studies is incorporating structuralism into media. To explain, structuralism is how the conventions of genre, symbols, and film structure create meaning. I improved on this in my recent products by creating meaning in every scene rather than framing and angling the camera properly. For example, in the commercial I did for the class, I intentionally framed the second part of the video to be below the built in arch. Why did I do that? I don't know. I just felt like it would be more professional. Which is true, but not all their scenes require a perfectly framed camera. Compare that to the flashback in the final version of Pursuit of Passion, where I used a candid angle to represent the memory as uncomfortable and why the protagonist is so sad. Another production skill that I improved on is having more types of shot in the media because they would be represented in more ways. By having shots like long shots, medium shots, rear view shots, etc., it can make the message of the film more clear. An example of these things being present in media is my second project, which was about a kind stranger helping a sad person, where I used these shots throughout the video to represent the dialogue of the stranger towards the protagonist. I used these shots and more in my final product to represent the protagonist's struggle of letting go of her passion. Knowing those types of improvements, one improvement in production skill in the final product versus the rough draft is that the final product was filmed in landscape consistently, unlike the rough draft, which was filmed in portrait with a random landscape scene towards the end. To give context, the landscape is filming horizontally, and portrait is filming vertically. By completely filming in landscape, the final product looks more professional than the rough draft. Another improvement in production skills in a final product versus the rough draft is that it has less needless things. A clear example of needless things being present in the rough draft is the protagonist taking his shirt off. This was done originally to represent the protagonist shedding his old self, which was Bleak, into a new him. The issue with this is that a 16-year-old is doing this, and it could have been done with a shirt. In that way, the scene would be much more appropriate and less awkward. However, even then, it reveals too much of the movie, so I just scrapped the scene entirely in the final product. But that's all I have to say about the movie.